Hello everyone, this is Matt with InvestorFeed, and in this training today we'll be covering our direct-to-investor Facebook ads cap raise system, and this is exactly step-by-step how to raise unlimited capital for virtually any business venture by leveraging this new direct-to-investor model, specifically with Facebook ads. So with that being said, let's begin. So here is each and every section that we'll be covering in this training today. In section number 1, we'll be introducing the new direct-to-investor era for raising capital online without any gatekeepers. In section number 2, we'll be covering how our InvestorFeed $100 billion plus InvestorAudience Network has unlocked the ability to advertise direct-to-investor. In section number 3, we'll be going into what exactly are Facebook ads and why are they so powerful for high net worth investor lead generation with InvestorFeed. In section number 4, we'll be going into the step-by-step guide to actually setting up a Facebook ad high net worth investor lead generation campaign. And for the last section, we'll be revealing our proprietary digital fundraising operating system to raising capital on autopilot for virtually any business venture. So let's begin with section number 1 of this training. So most people don't know this, but there is actually a new way that new school investors are using to raise millions of dollars in capital online faster and easier than ever before, without being beholden to traditional gatekeepers like Wall Street, Silicon Valley VCs, angel investors, and other large institutional investment firms, without relying on your existing network of high net worth investor relationships, wealthy connections, or family members, without wasting hundreds of hours cold calling, cold emailing, and networking in person with potential investors at meetup events, without having a super experienced investing track record or reputation, and lastly, without having to have these long, drawn out manual in-person investor relationship building cycles with unpredictable results, aka whining and dining investors. So who can take advantage of this new era? Well, number 1, real estate investors and syndicators looking to raise capital to acquire a variety of different types of real estate properties. Number 2, venture capital and hedge funds looking to invest in a variety of companies and assets with the potential for substantial returns. Number 3, small business and startup founders looking to secure funding or capital for business expansion, working capital, and acquisitions. Number 4, charity and nonprofit organizations looking to raise funds from donors to support charitable and mission-driven social causes. Number 5, private and hard money lenders looking to raise capital to provide asset-backed loans to business owners and real estate investors. And number 6, wealth managers and financial advisors looking to find high net worth individuals to provide capital management services. So we've coined this revolutionary new movement taking the world of finance and investing by storm as direct-to-investor or D2I fundraising. And the same new technologies and emerging global shifts that have enabled the direct-to-consumer or D2C era, as I'm sure you already know, and empowered millions of small business owners and entrepreneurs are now being utilized specifically by capital raisers. So here are some of the global shifts that have enabled the direct-to-consumer model. Number 1, digital platforms. So now anyone can now set up a website and take payments online, allowing businesses to sell their products and services directly to consumers online, bypassing those traditional retail gatekeeper channels. Number 2, social media. So now anyone can now set up social media accounts on platforms with billions of consumers like Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., to receive free organic discovery and exposure for their business online. Number 3, targeted paid advertising. So anyone can now set up a paid advertising account with ad platforms such as Facebook or Google to target their exact customer profile with ads to promote their products and services. And 4, online consumer behavior. So consumer adoption of the internet has accelerated rapidly as the vast majority of the population is now online for many hours per day with increased trust for online interactions and transactions. So these are the global shifts that have enabled the direct-to-consumer era. And it's allowed us to democratize business for all. So the direct-to-consumer or D2C era is to selling products, what the direct-to-investor or D2I era is to raising capital. So here is the traditional product sales, how people would traditionally sell products online versus the new direct-to-consumer era. So the old way, if you had a product that you would like to launch to customers, would be you'd have to go through one of these gatekeeper channels, large department stores that actually held all the customers, where all the customers would go to these stores such as Walmart or large institutional chains of stores, where you would have to go through them and launch their product in their stores in order to actually access these customers so they can buy your products. So they were the gatekeepers. Walmart, these large institutional department stores and chains, these were the gatekeepers. If you weren't able to get your products into these gatekeeper channels, then you wouldn't be able to access these customers. But the new way today, with all these shifts that we just talked about, the direct to consumer era, if you have a product, anyone with a product can immediately set up a website online, and they can launch that product and get exposure to these exact customers that they would normally have to go through these gatekeeper channels to get access to, utilizing number one, social media, or number two, paid advertising. So they can utilize these two channels, social media and paid advertising, in order to get discovery and exposure from these customers, sending them directly to their website so they can purchase their products. And now regular everyday entrepreneurs are empowered to launch their products directly to customers and consumers with their by simply just setting up a website and getting exposure on social media and paid advertising channels. It's that simple. And people are building hundreds of millions of dollars in businesses. So that is the new direct to consumer movement. And now how does that apply to our new direct to investor movement for capital raising? Well, the old way, similar to traditional product sales, is you would have an investment, you would have a startup, some form of business venture, and you would have to go through these gatekeeper channels like Wall Street, like Silicon Valley VCs. And because they had access to all of the investors, they would be the one who would ultimately decide if your venture, your startup, your real estate deal, whatever it may be, would even be able to be seen by these investors. They would have access to all the capital from the investors. They were ultimately the gatekeeper that would decide if your investment venture would even be seen or not. So that was the old way, but now the new way, the direct to investor era, you have an investment, you have a business venture, a startup venture, you have a real estate deal, whatever it may be, you have an investment venture. You simply set up a website and you utilize number one, social media, or number two, paid advertising to get exposure and discovery from those same exact investors to send them directly back to your website so they can invest. So instead of going through these gatekeeper channels, the old way, now the new way is to go direct to investor, just like how you would do it with direct to consumer for product sales. It's that simple. So here are some of the key regulatory milestones that have essentially unlocked the direct to investor movement. So it's something called the Jobs Act. So prior to 2012, when the Jobs Act was signed, the Jumpstart Our Business Startups Act, solicitation and advertising of private investment opportunities were tightly restricted. So only accredited investors from an issuer's existing network could be approached. So you weren't able to actually advertise your investment opportunities online. But now, after the Jobs Act was signed in 2012, which aimed at easing SEC regulations to help small businesses and startups raise capital, these two rules were signed into law, which is Rule 506C, which enabled funds to begin general solicitation and advertising, specifically online advertising, for certain securities offerings, provided that all the purchasers were accredited investors and the issuer takes reasonable steps to verify their accredited status. So 506C allows general solicitation and also online advertising if the people are actually accredited investors. So those are the only people that are able to invest in those types of 506C funds. Then we also have the Reg A fund, which introduced mini IPOs, enabling private companies to raise up to 50 million. I believe it's 75 million now, from both accredited and non-accredited investors, subject to certain limitations and disclosure requirements. So this allows you this opens you up to an even larger pool of investors, because now you can get access to non-accredited investors as well, in comparison to just accredited investors, which is only around 14% of the United States. And then also you have Reg CF, regulation crowdfunding, which enabled non-accredited investors to participate in equity crowdfunding, allowing anyone to invest in startups and small businesses up to certain thresholds based on their income and net worth. I believe it's around a $5 million limit. So these were the key regulatory milestones that have unlocked the direct to investor movement. And direct to investor fundraising has been absolutely exploding because of these milestones, with everyday investors splitting from Wall Street to invest directly into companies. So here's two companies, for example, Masterworks, which basically democratized the ability for people to invest in art. So it tokenized the ability to basically start investing in art with as little as a couple $100. And now, by being able to go direct to investor and get investors to come directly to their website and get them to invest in their portal directly on their website, they were able to raise around hundreds of millions of dollars. They have $940 million assets under management right now. And then you have Fundrise as well, which has a variety of different investment opportunities like venture, private credit, multiple different asset classes, real estate, and others, and they currently have around $3 billion assets under management, and you're able to invest with as little as just $10. So this is exactly what's happening today for this direct to investor fundraising movement. And it's not just companies, also new school investors are raising capital online, direct to investor, faster and easier than ever before. So this is a person that I'm sure you've seen before on social media with millions upon millions of followers, Grant Cardone. And basically what he does is he raises capital through paid advertising, through his social media channels, his millions of followers, through Reg A and 506C, I believe, basically democratizing the ability for people to invest in institutional grade real estate properties. And I'm pretty sure he's raised around $1 billion from his social media channels and paid advertising, and currently has around $4 billion assets under management in just a couple of years through his Cardone Capital Fund. So this is exactly what's happening today. So now that's great and all, but the question here is, how do you personally take advantage of this new democratized way of raising capital online, direct to investor? Well, this is the direct to investor acquisition equation that we've developed in order to explain exactly how you are going to be able to acquire investors for whatever your investment opportunity may be, your fund, your syndication, your real estate syndication, whatever it may be. So there's 4 parts to this equation. You have the top part of the equation, which is focused on the operator, which is going to be you. So the number one most important part of this equation in order to acquire investors for your investment opportunity is you need to get in front of them. So you need targeted attention from your ideal investor avatar. It's the most important part of the equation. If you aren't able to get in front of your ideal investor avatar, then the rest of the equation doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if you have a great investment. It doesn't matter if you're able to easily generate trust with people. If you are not able to get in front of your ideal investor avatar, then the rest of the equation goes to zero. You will not be able to acquire any investors for your fund, your syndication, whatever that may be. So you need to be able to get targeted attention from your ideal investor avatar. And then once you have that targeted attention, now you actually need to build trust with those investors within your pipeline. So that is the operator, the top part of the equation. You need to be able to get in front of investors. You need to be able to build trust with investors. And then once you're able to do that, now we can move to the bottom part of the equation, which is the actual investment. So you need to obviously have an investment for them with relatively competitive returns, and then also competitive risk as well. So if you can get targeted attention from your ideal investor avatar, you can build trust with them, you have a great investment for them, that's going to determine the scalability of your investor acquisition. The more targeted attention you can receive, the better you're able to generate trust with these people, the better your investment, the more investors you're going to be able to acquire for your fund direct to investor. And that is exactly how the direct to investor acquisition equation works. So now the question here is, most people are able to generate trust with people. Most people will be able to find a great investment. So the number one most complicated part for people, and exactly what we're going to solve today in this training here, is actually generating that targeted attention from your ideal investor avatar. How do you actually get in front of people that can invest in your fund? So how can any capital raiser instantly begin generating targeted attention directly from qualified high net worth investors on demand at scale? Because we don't just want to be going one-to-one. When you're going one-to-one, it's completely inefficient. You're going to different in-person network events. It takes too long. What we want to do here is generate targeted attention at scale. And that's exactly what paid advertising combined with our InvestorFeed investor audiences allows you to do. Generate targeted attention at scale from your ideal investor avatar, pre-qualified high net worth investors. Without any existing network, wealthy connections or referrals, without any existing digital or social media presence, or spending years posting content to build your audience, without wasting time performing inefficient one-to-one cold outreach methods like cold calling, DMs, cold emailing, and in-person networking, as we talked about, without partnering with expensive crowdfunding platforms or brokers, if they even decide they want to work with you. So once again, those are gatekeepers. And without having to waste money on traditional advertising methods to connect with mostly unqualified people who do not have the money to invest. How do we do this? Well, this has actually been technically impossible with the current technologies until now. Introducing our InvestorFeed $100 billion plus high net worth investor audience network. So the problem here is There's billions of users online on whatever platform it may be, Facebook, Twitter, X, Google, all these different platforms. There's billions of users that you can access online, but only approximately, as we talked about, 14% of the USA actually qualify as accredited investors, someone that can invest in your fund. So how do we actually focus your resources and efforts on specifically engaging only this qualified investor audience that is accredited, but also they have a reasonable amount of money that they can actually invest in your fund? How do we access specifically these people? Well, the solution is our InvestorFeed pre-built $100 billion plus investor audiences, which can be directly uploaded into any advertising platform as a custom audience to target with paid advertising in just a couple clicks. So here is how this new revolutionary direct-to-investor advertising system works. InvestorFeed has unlocked the ability to advertise direct-to-investor on the internet by forcing these ad platforms to only show ads to our proprietary $100 billion plus network of pre-qualified high net worth investors. So the problem with traditional advertising utilizing Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever it may be is, yes, you can get in front of a ton of people with these advertising channels, but the problem is the majority, as we talked about, are going to be unqualified and not have the money to invest, not be an accredited investor, not be able to invest a reasonable amount of money into whatever your investment opportunity may be. But now the new way with our InvestorFeed investor audiences, you're able to utilize the same exact advertising channels, Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever it may be, upload our pre-built investor audiences, and then advertise direct to investor to people that you 100% know for a fact are already pre-qualified high net worth investors. That is the key revolutionary shift with our InvestorFeed investor audiences. This was technically impossible before, but with our new system where you're able to take our pre-built audiences, upload them directly as a custom audience into the Facebook ad platform, into the Google Ads platform, and automatically and instantly force these ad platforms to only show ads to our proprietary pre-built $100 billion plus network of pre-qualified high net worth investors. It's a complete strategic change of the game. This is exactly how our InvestorFeed system is allowing you to, has unlocked this ability to advertise direct to investor. So now that we understand exactly how InvestorFeed works, let's dive into InvestorFeed powered Facebook ads. So now, what are Facebook ads exactly, if you don't already know, and why are they so incredibly powerful for high net worth investor lead generation, specifically with InvestorFeed? Well, Facebook ads are these sponsored placements, as you can see on the left side here. That's an example within the Facebook or Instagram newsfeed that a company pays for to generate clicks, leads, calls, purchases, whatever it may be, from their targeted prospects. And the cost on average are anywhere from $1 to $10 plus per click, depending on the competitiveness of the audience. So the core value proposition behind Facebook ads is that it provides virtually anyone the ability to create and then launch an advertisement and instantly begin generating targeted attention, clicks, leads, calls, purchases on demand, essentially at will, based on their operational capacity. It's a one-to-many, infinitely scalable solution of generating targeted attention online from your ideal prospects with your own custom-generated relevant content versus just manual one-to-one interactions with traditional methods such as, in-person networking, cold calling, whatever it may be. It enables mass leverage by systematically generating targeted attention from prospects 24/7, 365, even while you're sleeping, since there is zero manual intervention required in comparison to these long, drawn-out in-person networking type cycles. And finally, you're able to utilize intent-based lead generation, where unlike cold outreach methods where prospects have, unpredictable interest, creating massive time and effort inefficiencies, instead, with this intent-based lead generation process with Facebook ads, prospects self-select the advertisements that they're actually interested in and then come inbound directly to you, showing clear intent in your solution. So it's a complete change in the positioning when utilizing Facebook ads. So these are why Facebook ads are so incredibly powerful for high net worth investor lead generation, specifically with InvestorFeed, where you 100% know for a fact and force these ad platforms to target specifically only our pre-qualified network of high net worth investors. So now, what is the easiest and fastest way to actually set up a Facebook ad campaign to begin generating high net worth investor leads in your pipeline? Well, it's called Facebook Instant Form campaigns. So basically how this works is Facebook allows you to capture the contact information of prospective investors directly, natively within their advertising platform, within the Facebook ad platform, without having to build out, a website or a landing page, by utilizing their instant form feature, which basically pops up upon the click of the advertisement. So this is an example on the left side here. You could potentially have seen this before, but maybe you just didn't understand exactly what it was. But this feature is called Facebook Instant Form, where you click onto the advertisement, it pops up this instant form, and then you can fill out the instant form. It's basically already pre-filled with their contact information. So they simply just click next and click submit, and boom, you automatically have their contact information. It's that simple, all happening natively within the Facebook platform. So you don't have to build out a website. You don't have to build out any landing pages. You can instantly, set up this instant form. We're going to be going through exactly how to do it in literally less than 15 to 30 minutes. So very, very simple. And because of that lower opt-in friction, since all the information is basically pre-filled, it's all happening natively within the Facebook platform for these people that you're targeting. It basically allows you to generate a much higher overall lead conversion rate. So more people that are clicking on your advertisements are actually opting in. So you can get a lot more leads at a lower cost. So we can go into the pros of these Facebook ad instant form campaigns. As we kind of talked about already, it generates qualified inbound accredited investor leads at the lowest cost of any type of advertising campaign. Once again, because you're able to generate much higher conversions from these instant forms, since it's all happening natively within the Facebook platform, instead of them having to go to a landing page and go through this entire process. Basically by having this all happening directly natively within the Facebook platform, and also having their information pre-filled in that, since Facebook has all their information. And there's much reduced funnel steps overall, reduced steps that they have to go through in order to actually provide you with their contact information and submit that contact information. It allows you to generate these leads at the lowest cost of any type of advertising campaign that you could possibly utilize. So that's definitely the number one benefit. And also, as we talked about, it does not require you to create any website, funnel, landing pages, anything like that. It doesn't require you to set up anything, since it can all be done natively through the advertising platform. So it's definitely the quickest and easiest funnel to set up, so you can get it done immediately by the end of today in less than literally 15 to 30 minutes. Very, very simple. We'll be going through exactly how to set everything up a little bit further into this training here. So what are some of the cons though? Well, it generates the lowest quality investor leads because it requires the least amount of friction and education to sign up. So it's more of a quantity over quality type of campaign, because people can literally just click a couple buttons and automatically type in all their contact information. In comparison to when you have a landing page, you have them going through a long form, something like that. Like you're able to, because there's a lower amount of friction, it basically generates lower quality leads. That's basically just what's going to happen based on actual experience and spending a lot of money on these type of campaigns. And then also another downstream effect of that is leads are going to require more extra nurturing and manual follow-up in order for them to actually become an investor in your offering, since it has the lowest lead to investor conversion rate overall of any campaign type. So there's definitely a lot of pros to these type of Facebook instant form campaigns, and there's also some cons as well. But once again, because you're utilizing our InvestorFeed investor audiences, this is another benefit, because you already know that these people are pre-qualified to be high net worth investors. So they're already high quality leads that you can generate. These are high quality people that you're targeting with your paid advertising. So the majority of them, with a small percentage of margin of error, the majority of them are going to be high quality leads. So it's just another benefit of utilizing our InvestorFeed investor audiences and uploading them to advertise utilizing the Facebook platform. So that's just a basic overview of the Facebook instant form campaigns. So here is how the funnel basically breaks down. There's 3 steps to the instant form campaign. Number 1, you're going to have the Facebook ad. Then they're going to click onto the Facebook ad, as we talked about. It's going to pop up that instant lead form. And you're going to be able to ask a couple questions, and then they're going to fill out their contact information. And then once they do that, they submit that, then they're going to go to the instant form thank you page. And that is the 3-step funnel. It's that simple. Very, very simple funnel to set up and for your leads to go through. So now let's go through each and every step of the Facebook ad instant form campaign. So this is step number 1, which is going to be the Facebook ad. So we're going to go through in depth exactly how to set up each step of this campaign so you can understand and then set up the proper Facebook ad, the proper instant form, and the proper thank you page in order to convert the highest amount of leads possible. So with the Facebook ad, the purpose of the Facebook ad is to, number 1, engage, grab the attention, and then ultimately attract your targeted ideal investor avatar to click onto your advertisement in order to open up the Facebook instant lead form to begin the conversion process. We will take investors from cold prospects to an inbound prospective investor lead in your pipeline. So this is exactly how you want to create your Facebook advertisement. This is the exact layout that you need to go about your advertisement. So number 1, you need to have a scroll stopping lead. So since Facebook is a newsfeed based platform, you 100% must have a great first 3-line lead, which gets your target prospect to stop their scroll and actually take the time to read or watch the rest of your ad. So this is incredibly important, especially on mobile. So specifically on mobile, that's where the majority of people are going to be seeing your advertisements. I'm sure you've scrolled through Facebook before and you already understand this, but there's a lot going on Facebook. It's a newsfeed based platform. So a person is going to be scrolling relatively quickly through their Facebook newsfeed, and you need to immediately catch their attention with the first 3-line lead, because that's all they're going to see. They're only going to see 3 lines of your text from your advertisement, specifically on mobile. And then they have the show more button. They're going to need to click that in order to see the rest of your advertisement. So you need to catch their attention with that first 3 lines. And a good tip in order to do this is to first call out your target ideal investor avatar and then write out the hook to your advertisement creative angle to build interest and curiosity amongst your prospects. So it needs to be something that draws in your ideal investor avatar, the person who's most likely to invest in your specific investment type. Because the people that are going to be the avatar, the type of avatar that's going to be interested in investment type, investment class such as real estate, is going to be someone completely different than a person who's interested in investing in something such as crypto. They're 2 completely different people. So you need to make sure to write out your copy for your advertisement to speak to that specific person. So on the left side here, we have a great example advertisement. So they're calling out their ideal investor avatar. Accredited investors are, and this is their hook of their advertisement, are your current investments leaving you with mediocre returns and uncertainty in a fluctuating market? So that's the perfect hook to call out their ideal investor avatar. That is what their ideal investor avatar is thinking about right now in their head. And that is how they're stopping their scroll. That's their scroll stopping lead. And then once you stop the scroll, now you can move into the written body text copy. So Facebook gives you the ability to add written body text to your advertisement so you can provide a short form written version of your specific advertisement creative angle as a second type of viewable medium for investor prospects. Because some people are visual, so some people are going to look at the visual component of your advertisement, and some people are readers, so they're going to want to read through your advertisement. So you need to make sure that both of them are on point. So let's look at this example here for their body text. You've worked hard for your wealth, yet traditional investments lack the ability to adapt to rapid economic changes, leaving you anxious about the stability of your portfolio. In an environment where the cost of living continues to rise and future investments remain uncertain, what you need is a solution that offers both stability and growth potential. So this is a real estate investment opportunity. Enter Shaker Moreland. So that's where the investment opportunity is located. The latest real estate investment opportunity in the heart of Cleveland, Ohio. This unique offering stands out in a market ripe with potential. So now they go into all the bullet points of why this is the best investment opportunity specifically for personalized to their ideal investor avatar. Stable and growing market, located minutes from vital healthcare hubs and prestigious universities. Region experiencing consistent rental demand growth with a 6% yearly increase. High value investment with 143 units in a highly desirable location. This property offers an attractive proposition. We've identified a clear path to boost returns through rent growth and utility reimbursement opportunities. Experience and expertise, leveraging our successful expansion into markets such as Morgantown, Buffalo, Cincinnati, brings proven strategies and over $300 million in assets under management to drive Shaker Moreland's success. Strong returns with a target IRR of 20% and target equity multiple of 1.9x. We aim to outperform traditional investments. Why wait? So that's the body text to draw them in for this specific advertisement creative angle. So they're going into the benefits of the of the investment opportunity. And then finally, for the written section, they go into the call to action. So there must always be a call to action to perform a desired action, whether that's to click, to sign up, etc., within your advertisements on Facebook, within both your visual and then your written mediums. So what is the written medium call to action? Well, it's why wait, click, learn more to unlock the on-demand webinar and discover the potential of Shaker Moreland. This is the key to diversifying and solidifying your investment portfolio. Transform your investment future. So that is their call to action. And then next, we also have the visual ad creative section where you can utilize a video or an image. So this is going to be the main visual section of your Facebook ad where you'll be adding your main visual creative angle. Once again, whether that be a video or an image, going into where you will grab the attention of your ideal investor avatar by hooking them visually and then attracting them to click onto your advertisement in order to perform the next steps in your conversion process. So you can either use a video or an image. We found that video works best. So if you are using a video, this is an incredible tip right here, based on actual experience and tons of money spent on Facebook ads. If you're going to be using a video, then make sure the first 3 to 5 seconds of the video captures your investor prospect's attention. Once again, because it needs to stop the scroll, people are only going to give you a couple seconds when they're scrolling rapidly through their Facebook newsfeed. It's a newsfeed based platform, so you need to be able to capture their attention immediately without requiring sound, since 80% of people are going to watch the video on their mobile phone on Facebook without any sound. So it needs to be able to capture their attention without sound. And then also what you want to do is utilize custom made captions for your video content, because once again, if 80% of people are going to be watching that video without sound, there obviously needs to be some text there so people can understand exactly what's going on in the video. So that's how you want to lay out your visual ad creative. And then finally, at the bottom, there's going to be your scroll stopping headline of the advertisement next to the call to action button. So as a secondary scroll stopper, you must make sure to craft the headline of your Facebook ad next to the call to action button to catch the attention of your investor prospect. Keep it short, keep it concise, and easily readable, because once again, people are going to be skimming through the Facebook newsfeed rapidly. So that is exactly how you want to set up your Facebook ad. You need to engage your ideal investor avatar and attract them to click onto your advertisement. That's the most important part in order to move on to step number 2. So in step number 2, now they've clicked your Facebook advertisement and they've popped up your instant lead form. So it's popped up natively within the Facebook ad platform. So the next part of this campaign is to convert your ideal investor avatar into a lead natively in platform through the Facebook instant lead form feature by typing in their contact information plus filling out any qualification questions to learn more or perform the desired action within your company. So as you can see on the left side here, this is an example of some questions that can be asked natively within the platform. You can ask them, are you a accredited investor? You can ask them, do you have enough money to actually invest? You can ask them, what is your experience in this specific investment type? Whatever qualification questions you think are most important for your specific investment strategy. And the great thing about this is it can also be utilized with other deliverables in combination to increase your overall conversion rate. So as we saw on the page before this, they allowed them to opt in for a webinar. So you can provide other deliverables in combination with just getting them to opt in through this instant lead form. That you can basically tell them you're going to get this for opting in. So you can provide them a downloadable resource. You can provide them the ability to register for a webinar, the ability to schedule a consultation call. You can basically track them through providing other deliverables in combination with just opting in through this instant lead form to increase your overall conversion rates, because they're actually getting some form of deliverable from typing in their contact information. That's incredibly important. So how do you want to set up your instant lead form? So this is the exact conversion optimized layout that you want to utilize. So you have your intro hero banner image. So this is going to be the display banner image that grabs the attention from your ideal investor avatar and attracts them to type in their contact information and qualification questions into the required fields. So normally the way that we like to utilize our banner image is very simple. Just utilize the headline and subheadline format within your banner image. I'm telling them exactly what to do. Very, very simple. Next, you have your instant lead form headline. So this is going to grab the attention and attract your ideal investor avatar with a compelling headline to describe your investment venture, which the prospective investor will learn more about upon opt-in. So on this left side here, the example is invest in multifamily real estate. That's basically their headline. And then you move one step below and you have the instant lead form description. So you're going to write out a supporting description that goes into more details surrounding your investment venture that will help grab the attention and attract prospective investors to opt in to learn more. So on the left side here, we see IM Capital invests in commercial real estate representing select sponsors with a strong historical track record that points to continued growth. So that is the description. And then finally, you have the two-step sign up and qualification form. So prospects first answer qualification questions on the first step of the instant form. For example, are they a credit investor? What is their liquidity? What is their investment experience in your specific investment type, etc. Plus also, then they click next. And on the second step of the instant form, they type in their contact information, which is normally already pre-filled. So that greatly increases the conversion rate, which is going to include their name, email, phone number. And then they have the call to action button to submit all that information to finalize the opt-in. So that is the Facebook ad instant form campaign step number 2. And then finally, we have instant form, the instant form campaign step number 3, which is the instant form thank you page. So this is very, very simple. You're just going to confirm to the new prospective investor that they've fully completed the sign up process, and then provide the next steps that will occur for them. And then also, if you did provide them some form of deliverable for opting in, you can give them confirmation that they're going to receive that. So this is exactly how you want to set up your instant form thank you page. It's very, very simple. Once again, simply just you have the headline. So you're going to display confirmation to the newly opted in prospective investor that they've completed the entire opt-in process. And then also, as we talked about, they're going to receive any deliverables if you added that. So on the left side here, you can see the example. It just says, thank you for your interest. And then under that, you have the description. So you're going to display a short description of the next steps that will occur now that they've actually signed up. So in this example, we've got your details. Our team will reach out shortly. In the meantime, explore our website for more about our services. And then finally, at the bottom here, you have the call to action button. So this is very powerful here. So you can give prospective investors the ability to go to a destination URL in order to receive more details or more value from you. So for this example, they just allow you to view the website. But as we talked about, if you're giving any deliverables, what you can do is that you can utilize that call to action button in combination to allow them to opt into a webinar, provide whatever deliverable you've given them just by clicking on that call to action button. So the downloadable resource access, the ability to join a group, the ability to watch a video, whatever it may be. So you can just allow them to click that call to action button to receive that specific deliverable. So that is campaign step number 3, the thank you page. So just to go through a recap, once again, you have the Facebook ad that they're going to click. Then they're going to go to the instant form where they can answer any qualification questions, type in their contact information, submit that, and then they go to the thank you page. It's that simple. Very, very simple process. So now that we understand the structure of a Facebook ad instant form campaign, let's actually break down exactly how to set it up step by step. So setting up a Facebook ad instant form campaign, part number 1. So we're going to actually be going directly into the Facebook ad platform to set it up in real time. But just to give you the full breakdown first, we'll just go through everything one by one, each and every step. So for step number 1, you're going to choose your campaign objective, which for this instance is going to be leads. That will allow you to optimize for the specific advertising objective, which is going to be instant form fills, which you'll be advertising in your cold advertising campaign. So whenever you're running cold advertising campaigns, you must make sure you want to use the conversion objective. So you're telling Facebook to go out and optimize for that specific conversion. Incredibly important. So the recommended objective is going to be leads conversion. So the main objective that will set up the Facebook targeting algorithm to optimize in finding the best prospects that are most likely to fill out the instant form to become a lead or whatever your specific conversion objective is. Because if you use other objectives, let's say, for example, the traffic objective as we have on the bottom here, basically, when you're utilizing the traffic objective, you're telling Facebook to go out and get and optimize to find prospects that are most likely to click on your ads at a cheap cost. But that's not what we want. We don't just want random people to click on our advertisements. We want the people that are most likely to actually become a lead. So that is why we utilize the lead objective, because we want to tell Facebook's algorithm to go out and find the people that are most likely to actually perform that specific conversion objective, and not just those lower level objectives. We don't just want a bunch of clicks to our website. We don't want that. We want people who are actually going to opt in and become a lead. So that's why we utilize that objective. And then you have the awareness objective as well, which is video use and reach frequency. But this objective is going to be used for mostly prospecting campaigns to get video views of your conversion content at a low cost, and then retargeting them. So this is normally utilized for retargeting if you're going to be retargeting, so you can get a ton of video views from people that have already entered your pipeline. So Facebook targeting algorithm is not optimized for getting prospects to perform certain actions, but rather priming them with information and then also building omnipresence at a low cost. So you want to make sure, in a nutshell, you want to make sure to utilize the lead conversion objective. That is the most important part here. So step number 2 is you're going to create a campaign name with the proper naming conventions to say organize in your Facebook ad dashboard. So we just want to make, this is the naming conventions that we utilize just so we can stay super organized within the Facebook ad dashboard, because you're going to have a bunch of different campaigns set up. So you want to make sure that you have the proper naming conventions so you can just stay super organized. So what we normally like to do is have the company name. So for example, I Am Capital, the campaign type, which is going to be cold, and the campaign objective, which is going to be conversion instant form leads. And then for step number 3, and this is optional if you're doing real estate related advertising, the best practice is to set the special ad category as housing to make sure that your ads don't get disapproved and potentially get your ad account shut down. Technically, it's not required, but because if you're going to be advertising anything real estate related and have housing type keywords in your advertisements, you would want to select this. The main thing here to understand is that there was a lawsuit that happened with Facebook where it was basically a discrimination lawsuit. So now they make you set these special ad categories if you're targeting anything that has to do with housing, so they can restrict your targeting capabilities on demographics. So you can't target based on if you select this, you aren't able to target based on like gender or age or anything like that. So that's the restriction. So if you are doing anything real estate related, you want to make sure to set that special ad category so your ads don't get disapproved. And then next, step number 4, you can switch your campaign objective you like from the initial selection, but we're not going to be doing that. We're keeping on leads. And also step number 5 or step number 6, you can also create A/B split tests with your campaigns, which will test a variety of different versions of your ads to improve your overall ad performance. You don't need to do that though. We normally keep that off. And then also you can enable Advantage Campaign Budget Plus to allow Facebook to distribute your budget automatically based on their algorithms. But this is incredibly important based on actual experience. So this is a pro tip. All ad platforms, this is incredibly important. All ad platforms, whether it be Facebook, Google, whatever it may be, they're optimized personally to spend as much of your money as possible and spread your spend across all their ad inventory, no matter the overall quality or performance of your campaigns. So what we recommend is to give them the least amount of control possible over your campaigns. Don't give them control of how much money of where they can spend your money, of how much money they're going to spend on specific different ad placements. You want to keep control of your campaigns so you can focus on only the highest quality placements, only the amount of money that you actually want to spend. You want to keep the most control of your campaigns as possible because Facebook is optimized to spend as much of your money as possible. They don't care about the performance of your campaigns. So that's incredibly important. Okay, part number 3. So step number 7, you want to create another campaign name with a proper naming convention to stay organized in your Facebook ad dashboard. So this is going to be your ad set level. So we'll be going into this further once we actually get into the Facebook ad dashboard and set this up in real time. But in every Facebook ad campaign, there's the campaigns, then there's the ad sets, which is basically the different audiences within that overall campaign. And then you have, for every ad set, you can put multiple different ads for every ad set. So it goes campaign level, ad set level, and then ad level. That is how your campaigns are set up in the dashboard. So to make sure to stay organized, what you want to do is use this format here for your naming conventions: campaign type, objective, audience. So for this example, it's going to be cold, conversion, instant form leads, and then your audience is going to be our investor audiences. So that's how you'd set up the naming convention. And then you have step number 8, which is going to be your conversion location. So this is incredibly important because this is going to be where you're going to select your specific conversion location type for your campaign that you would like Facebook to optimize for, which in this instance will be instant forms to create an instant form campaign. And then extra options you can also do is when utilizing our investor audiences, you can turn the frequency cap off or to the lowest setting since they were already known to be pre-qualified prospects in the overall audience. So the frequency cap basically means that you want to make sure and set the control to Facebook, telling them, hey, don't show this ad to the same person, 100 times in one single day. That's basically what you're doing. So normally you like to set a frequency cap so you're not targeting the same person that's not interested in your advertisement. That's basically why you would do that. So step number 9, you're going to set your daily budget you would like to spend in your ad set, and a target budget for your ad sets should be at least 2 to 3x the CPA, the cost per set conversion objective. So for example, if you're running an instant form lead gen campaign and every single lead is costing you $50 in order to acquire that lead, then what you want to do is set the daily budget at a minimum of $100 to $150 a day for optimized performance. Because what happens is Facebook's algorithm is going to optimize based on the conversions that you're getting. So the more conversions that you're able to get on your pixel, the better Facebook's targeting is going to optimize. So that's the whole point of this. You want to get as many conversions onto your pixel as possible because it's going to optimize to Facebook's targeting algorithm is going to optimize to find the best people possible. And it's just going to continuously keep on optimizing further and further and further with every single conversion that you get. It's going to go out and find the best people that are actually going to convert with your campaigns. So you want to make sure to keep your daily budget at least 2 to 3x your cost per instant form fill. Okay, so step number 10, you're going to build your audience, which you will target with your advertising campaign. Make sure that you have the conversion pixel already set up before starting the campaign. And then these are some of the cold advertising audiences that you can utilize. But obviously for this example, we're going to be utilizing our InvestorFeed investor audiences. since those are going to be uploaded directly into the Facebook ad platform, so you can target them. So in general, you can normally target interests. So you can target different interests. People are interested in investing, whatever that may be, entrepreneurs. But once again, the majority of those people, because only 14% of people are actual accredited investors, the majority of those people are going to be unqualified. That's why you want to utilize our InvestorFeed investor audiences. And then you can also, if you are, let's say, for example, you already have a large fund, you already have a large database of, let's say, hundreds or even thousands of people that invested 100K plus with you, then what you can do is you can create a custom conversion lookalike, which basically allows you to upload that into Facebook platform. We'll do another training on exactly how all of these different audiences work, but basically at a high level, in a nutshell, how a lookalike audience works is you upload that data of those people that you already have. Let's say, for example, you have 100 people that have invested 100K with you. You upload that, and basically what a lookalike audience is, Facebook's going to go out and they're going to find people based on the thousands of data points that they have on people on their platform. They're going to find the people that look the most alike those people that you uploaded into their platform. So they're finding you a great audience, but the majority of people don't have that data. So that's why our InvestorFeed investor audiences are so incredible. And then what you can do as well is you can utilize our investor audiences of, hundreds of thousands of people that we already know for a fact are pre-qualified high net worth investors. And then you can upload that and build a lookalike audience off of that as well. So you can create massive scale with your campaigns. So those are just some powerful audiences that you can utilize. And then you can also do extra targeting options. So there's a variety of different options you can select to further narrow down your targeting to your exact ideal investor avatar, including the location. So if you have a real estate deal and you're in, let's say, for example, Fort Worth, Texas, then you can just target people within Fort Worth, Texas. So that's a great way of doing things. Then you can also target people based on age, based on gender, based on interest, based on language. But once again, most of these will not be available if you're doing a real estate related advertisement with the special ad category selected. You can still advertise based on location with the real estate related advertisement special ad category selected, but for like age, gender, you won't be able to do that. So that's just something to take into account as well. So those are just some extra targeting options. So step number 11 is you're going to select the placement options for where you would like your targeted audience to see your ads. But once again, this is incredibly important. Most placements are created by Facebook as a way to increase their overall ad inventory, but they are a complete waste of money. They're low quality placements. So what you want to do is you want to turn off all of the placements. This is based on actual experience, based on a lot of money spent in paid advertising. You want to make sure to turn off virtually all of the placements because they're all low quality, except for the Facebook newsfeed, the Instagram newsfeed, and Instagram stories, specifically for cold advertising campaigns. So those are the only places that you want people to be seeing your ads because those are the highest quality placements: the Facebook newsfeed, the Instagram newsfeed, and Instagram stories. And then also you're able to select the different devices that you would like people to see your ads. We normally keep all of this on the platforms and placements. So you can select the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, Audience Network, plus also the specific placements within the platforms that you would like your ads to be seen. But once again, we're just doing Facebook newsfeed, Instagram newsfeed, and Instagram stories. You can select the mobile device or operating system specificity. So you can select if you would like to have your ads only shown on specific mobile devices or operating systems. The concept here is that more expensive technology equals a higher target, a higher quality audience. And then lastly here, you can also select Wi-Fi only. So this is a great pro tip that we found to be super successful. So you can select only when connected to Wi-Fi as a way to identify when a prospect is not on the go, but rather in a set place where they are using Wi-Fi, therefore displaying they may have the time to perform higher effort, time-consuming actions. So if you select this option, then it's only going to target people who are connected to Wi-Fi. So for a fact they're not on the go, they're not in the car, they have the time to actually perform certain more higher effort actions. So we normally like to keep that on. And then finally, we create the actual advertisement. So step number 12, you're going to create a campaign name because this is the ad level now. So you're going to create a campaign name with a proper naming convention to stay organized in your Facebook ad dashboard. So the format that we normally utilize for the ad name is campaign type, objective, audience, and creative angle. So cold, conversion, instant form leads, investor audience is the audience, and then whatever your creative angle name is. That's how you would set up your naming convention. Step number 13, you're going to set up your Facebook advertising campaign with your specific creative angle. So the media, you can add the video or image that will act as your main section for the visual creative angle, which you want to utilize for this advertisement. You have the body text, so you can add the written creative angle, which you'll utilize to stop the scroll of the prospect to view the rest of your advertisement. You have the headline, so you add the written headline that will be seen by the prospect next to the call to action as a secondary written scroll stopper. So we went through all these different elements of the advertisement already when we went through the different funnel steps. And then you have the description, so this is the secondary text underneath the headline to provide more supporting information about the headline. We normally keep that blank. And then you have the call to action, so you can select a variety of different preset call to action buttons, which prospects will click to pop up your instant lead form. So in this example on the left side here, we have IM Capital. I just wrote some example copy. So it just says investors invest in this multifamily real estate deal. So that's the body text. And then you have the visual creative angle, which is just invest in the booming Fort Worth, Texas market. We have some bullet points, and then a call to action is learn more. And then you have the headline as invest in this multifamily real estate deal. So that's just an example of a creative that you can utilize. Then we move into part number 7. So this is where you're going to be creating your actual instant form. So Facebook makes it very, very simple in order to create your instant form. This is step number 13. So you're going to set up your Facebook ad campaign instant form, including all these elements below step by step. So you're going to type out your instant form name. You're going to type in the name that you would like your for your instant form to stay organized within your campaigns. So for step number 1, you're going to choose your form type. So you're going to select the form type which you would like to utilize, either more volume or higher intent, which provides prospects the ability to confirm all form info before actually submitting. Normally we just do more volume. That's the form type that we select. And once again, we'll be going through setting this up actual in real time in a second here, but just to give you the high level once again. Step number 2 is the intro. So you're going to choose the banner image. You're going to select the banner image you'd like to utilize for your instant form. We have the greetings. So you're going to write out the headline and the description prospects will see when the instant form pops up. Then in step number 3, we have the questions so that you can create some custom questions. So create the custom qualification questions you would like prospects to answer in your instant form. So for example, are you an accredited investor? What is your liquidity? What is your experience in this specific investment type, etc. Then you have the pre-field questions, which are going to be the fields for the contact information that you would like prospects to submit in your instant form. So name, email, phone number, address, whatever that may be. You have the privacy settings in step number 4. So you're going to be able to type in your privacy policy disclaimer to display to prospects on your instant form. And then you also can type in any custom disclaimers. So consult your attorney for this, obviously, for any custom financial type disclaimers for your related industry to display to prospects on your instant form. And then finally, you have the completion stage, which is going to be your thank you page for step number 5, which is where you're going to type in the headline that you'd like to display on your thank you page of your instant form. The description, so you're going to type in the description that you would like to display on the thank you page of your instant form. And then finally, the call to action button. So you're going to be able to select the call to action button, the website URL, click to call, download, whatever it may be, plus the call to action button text you'd like to display inside that button. And then also input the website URL, the deliverable, the phone number, whatever that may be, for your call to action button based on what you selected for the button action. So that is how to set up your instant form. So now that we understand how to actually set up a Facebook ad instant form campaign, let's actually build it out live in real time inside our Facebook ad account. Okay, so we are now inside our Facebook ads demo account, so we can begin building out our Facebook instant form campaign. And to start off, this Facebook dashboard, it may look a little intimidating to you, but in reality, there's only a couple core elements that you need to understand in order to actually set up, manage, and run your Facebook instant form campaign. So that's exactly what we're going to be going over in this video here. So as we kind of already talked about, there are 3 parts to every single Facebook ad campaign. There's the campaign level, the ad set level, and the ad level. So the campaign level is what holds your entire campaign. Then you have the ad set level, which is where you're able to test multiple different audiences within your overall campaign. And then you have the ad level where you can test multiple different ads to every single ad set. So that is the 3 core elements to every single Facebook ad campaign. Then you have the date tab right here. You can scroll through if you have multiple different ad accounts, you can scroll through that right here. And then we have a couple basically test campaigns that I just wanted to set up so you can see the entire dashboard here. So this is how you want to have your Facebook dashboard set up. So you're going to have the campaign names right here. As we talked about, you want to make sure to put in the proper naming conventions exactly as we went over in this module here. Then you have the delivery tab, which basically shows you if your campaigns are on or off. As you can see, these test campaigns are off currently. Then you have the budget level. So right now we're using ad set budgets. So there's going to be different budgets for every single ad set, as you can see here, which you can change if you would like, scale up or down based on the success of the campaigns. Then we have the amount spent. So this is going to show you exactly how much money was spent for this specific time frame for these campaigns. Then you have the impression level. So how many views your ads are getting. And then you have the CPM, which is the cost per impression. And we're going to be going over all of these calculations and exactly what all these metrics are a little bit further into the module. But just to give you a high level here of how you want to have each and every campaign set up, the dashboard, so that you can see all these metrics, because they're extremely, extremely important when optimizing your campaigns. Then you have the campaign reach. And then this is where we start getting to the more important downstream metrics that you really want to focus on. So you have the amount of unique link clicks, so the amount of clicks on your advertisement, the unique CTR, which is the click-through rate. So how many people that are viewing your ads are actually clicking on your ads. So that's very important. You want to make sure that that's above 1%. Then we have the cost per unique click. So this is how much it's costing you in order to get a click on your advertisement. So the lower your cost per click and the higher your CTR, the better your campaign is actually doing. Then we have the leads. So this would be your instant form leads. How many leads are you generating? Then you have your cost per lead. So what is your overall cost per lead? That's an incredibly important metric. And once again, we're going to be going over all this in depth a little bit further into this module. And then we have, I normally like to have this set up as well, the video plays, so you can see if people are actually engaging with your video advertisements. If you're actually running video ads, you can either use video or graphic. We normally see that video ads work better, but you can do either or. So that's exactly how you want to have your all your campaigns set up in the dashboard. And in order to do that, you simply just have to go into here and you can customize all the different columns to set them up exactly as we have here. So here's just the exact layout, so you can kind of plug and play this if you'd like. You can change them right here just by checking the box and then adding them just like this. This is exactly how you want to have it ordered. So now that we understand exactly how the dashboard works, now we can actually go into setting up a Facebook Instant Form campaign. So click create right here, very simple. And then we're just going to go through step by step exactly as we talked about a little bit earlier in this training here. So you're going to go to leads, instant forms, as you can see here, click continue, go to manual leads campaign. Because once again, we want to give Facebook the least amount of control over our campaigns because they're optimized to spend all of our money. Then put in the proper naming conventions as we talked about. So for example, just say I am capital, cold, conversion, instant form, leads. Then if you're running real estate related ads, you may want to set the housing special ad category just in case, so you can make sure that your ads get approved. You don't always have to do that, but it's better to just have it on just in case. Then click next. Then we move into the ad set. So I am capital, cold, it's cold advertising campaign, conversion campaign, instant form, leads, and then we're going to be doing our investor audiences for this specific ad set. So as you can see, your conversion location, just as we talked about in the training, instant forms, select your Facebook page, performance goal, maximize number of leads, leave the cost per result the same. Don't need to change anything here. And then we can set our daily budget. So as we talked about, you want to keep it 2 to 3x our target CPA. So let's say, for example, our target CPA is going to be around $50 per lead. So the minimum we want to do is about around $100 a day. You can do lower, but if you want to make sure that the campaign's optimized as quickly as possible, I would keep it at 2 to 3x your target CPA. Then this is where you're choosing your audiences. So this is exactly where you would choose our investor audiences. So as we talked about, if you're utilizing InvestorFeed, what you can do is you can simply just upload our in the InvestorFeed account. You can simply just upload your investor audience that you would like to utilize, and then you can target that right here. So for example, we have high net worth investor audience. Target it right here, and then you can target our investor audiences. It's that simple. Simply just upload them to your account. And because you're utilizing the special ad category, once again, you can't target based on demographics, so you have to keep these the exact same, but Facebook will optimize for you to find the best audiences as you get more conversions on your pixel, as you get more leads on your instant form. So that's something to take into account as well. So you want to make sure to choose the United States. So you can choose the United States right there. Whatever country you're in, you can utilize. And then languages, make sure to choose English because you can do that. Don't want to be targeting people that don't speak English, obviously. And then this is important as well. So once again, Facebook's optimized to waste all of your money. So what you want to do is give them the least amount of control for the placements because they want to spread their your advertising spend across all of their less quality placements. So what you want to do is you only want to have Facebook feed, Instagram feed, and Instagram stories enabled because those are the highest quality placements that are going to get you the highest quality leads. So uncheck everything else. You don't want to have it on any of these other ones. So now we have it on the perfect placements. Click more here. As we talked about, you want to make sure that you have only one connected to Wi-Fi on so that it's only showing your advertisements to people who are actually connected to Wi-Fi on their mobile phone or desktop. Once again, this is very important because if people are on the go, they're not connected to Wi-Fi. It most likely means that they're on the go, they're in the car, they're not in a place where they can sit down and actually, watch an advertisement or actually go through the entire conversion process. So we want to make sure only one connected to Wi-Fi is on. And then we can click next here. And this is where we're going to go into the actual advertisement. So I am capital, go through our exact naming conventions, cold, conversion, instant form, investor audience, and then very important, this is going to be your creative angle name. So let's just say, for example, it's REI 3, something like that, REI video. So just so you can stay organized and know exactly what advertisement creative angle you're utilizing. Turn off multi-advertiser ads. And then this is where you can add your media. So whatever image or video you want to utilize, simply just upload it into your Facebook ad account. For this example, we'll use this. So this is just an example advertisement right here for a real estate fund. So you can see you're investing in the booming Fort Worth, Texas market, some bullets, and then a phone number. Then you can put in your primary text here. So we talked about exactly how to set up your advertisement. Make sure you have a good scroll stopping lead. We went through the entire script, everything like that. So that's incredibly important. So just for example, accredited investors invest in the booming Fort Worth, Texas market. So you can see this right here. You'll be able to preview exactly what your advertisements will look like. Worth, Texas real estate. So that's going to be your headline, which you'll be able to see right here. Then you don't want to do any description. You can choose what you want right here. Apply now, learn more, whatever that may be, because it's going to pop up your instant form anyway. So that's how to set up your creative. Remember that the script is the most important part. So you want to make sure you have a great scroll stopping first 3 lines, because that's what they're going to see on mobile before the show more button comes up. Make sure that you have a great scroll stopping headline. Make sure that you have a great creative that stops the scroll, or you can put a video in here as well. But just follow our exact script that we already talked about in this training here. And then once you have all of that set up, now we can move into the actual instant form. So click right here, create form. And then we can go in. So name the form. Let's just name it Fort Worth Investors. So then you can choose more volume or higher intent. Always like to choose more volume. So because the higher intent basically just gives them the ability to confirm the info. We don't need to worry about that. Then you move into the second section, which is going to be using the image from your ad or use an uploaded image. So we can just, you normally want to use your uploaded image. So create a banner that is 1200 by 628 pixels. As we talked about, you want to make sure that it says your exact company name and that a headline and subheadline. That further entices them to actually put in their information. That's normally how we like to do it. And then you can give the greeting. So you need to make sure that this is good. Invest in multifamily real estate in Fort Worth, Texas. And then this is going to be your description. So type in contact info and answer qualification questions to invest in our fund. So they're going to see that right there. Then you can move into the questions. So this is going to be where we're going to put our qualification questions. So you can do multiple choice, short answer, conditional. You can just do multiple choice, for example. If you want to do, are you an accredited investor? We saw some different examples in this a little bit earlier in the module. Are you an accredited investor? Yes. No. So you can see yes or no. Switch up the positioning, so they can just click simply yes or no right there. Answer the question. If you want to ask what is your liquidity, you can do that as well. As we talked about, we went over multiple different questions that you can ask. And then you have the pre-fill questions as well. So name, email, phone number, full name. And then also want to add the phone number, put that right there so you can see this is exactly what step number 2 is going to look like. So they're going to answer the qualification question, click next, and they're going to go directly to the contact information. Very simple. Then we have the privacy policy, so you can add your privacy policy if you like, add custom text to your actual privacy policy on your website, add any financial disclosures. It's also very important to consult your attorney for that, but you can add that right there. Very simple. So they can submit the form, and then we have the thank you page. So you'll be able to type in your headline right here, type in your description right here, confirming that they filled out all the information. They're going to receive any deliverables. So once again, we talked about you can add a combination of different deliverables. You can allow them to register for a webinar, receive a PDF document, whatever that may be, to further increase your conversion rates because they're actually getting something tangible of value for opting in. So you can do that as well. The call to action button, there's multiple different actions that you can have. Give them the ability to call you, give them the ability to download a tangible asset like a PDF, and then you can change the call to action text right here if you'd like, and then you can add the link to the specific, if you choose the call to action button action of your website, you can just type in the URL that you'd like for them to go to of your website or whatever that may be right here. And then that's it. Click create the form. One more thing, definitely want to choose English, and then restricted. You can either utilize restricted or open. Normally just like to choose restricted. So once that's done, click create form. So you can add all of this, just valid website URL, but just for this example, we're just going to go right through it. So very simple. You'll create the form. So the form will be created just as you wanted. You'll have the ad all set up. Just click publish, and that's it. Your ad will be set up and ready to go. You'll be able to see it right here once you actually launch it, and then within most times a couple hours to 1 business day, that ad will be approved by Facebook, and then you can begin running it and begin generating leads. It's that simple, guys. And then we're going to talk about exactly how to analyze all this data and how to optimize the different levers of the funnel to make sure that you get leads at the lowest cost possible. We'll be going into that a little bit further into this module. We'll have because KPIs are most important. This is why you want to see all this information right here, because the KPIs are most important. Once you understand exactly what your cost per lead is, what your unique click-through rate is, what your cost per unique click is, then we can go in and actually optimize each and every lever of that. And that's exactly what we're going to be learning how to do in the a little bit further into this training today. So this is exactly how to set up your instant form campaign directly in Facebook. So lastly, before actually launching our Facebook ad instant form campaign, we must first set up our campaign KPIs so that we can directly forecast the required metrics that we need to hit in order to achieve our capital raising goals. This is incredibly important, and it's the #1 mistake that I see of beginner advertisers and why they fail when running advertising campaigns. So here's a breakdown of the core paid advertising investor lead generation KPI metrics. So to start off, we have the KPI metrics that are associated with your Facebook ad, which is going to be #1, your cost per 1,000 impressions, or your CPM. So how much do ad platforms charge you per 1,000 impressions of your ad? So this is the calculation for this is going to be the total amount of ad spend divided by the impressions multiplied by 1,000 is going to equal your CPM. Then next we have your click-through rate, or your CTR. So how many prospects that view your ads actually click them. So this is calculated by the clicks divided by your amount of impressions equals your CTR. And then lastly, we have your cost per click, or your CPC. So how much does it cost in order to get a prospect to actually click to your ad to open up your instant form? So this is going to be the total amount of ad spend divided by your amount of clicks equals your CPC. So these are all the KPI metrics that are associated with your Facebook ad. And the most important part here to understand is that each one of these KPI metrics are levers that you can optimize. So they all play into each other. So for example, if you were able to increase your overall click-through rate, that's going to drop your CPC. So if you're able to optimize the amount of people that actually click on your advertisements, that view your advertisements, it's going to drop your overall cost per click. And then that moves into the next set of KPI metrics that are associated with your instant form. So number one, it's going to be your lead conversion rate. So how many prospects that actually click on your advertisement and open up your instant form are registering with their contact information plus answering all your qualification questions in order to become a lead. So this is the amount of leads divided by the number of clicks equals your lead conversion rate. So if you have 100 clicks that open up your instant form and then 10 of those actually become a lead, they go through the entire process, answer all the questions, type in their contact information to become a lead, that would be a 10% lead conversion rate. And then the next metric would be your cost per lead, or your CPL. So how much does it cost you in order to get a prospect to become a lead from your instant form? So that's going to be the total amount of ad spend divided by the amount of leads generated equals your CPL. Then we move into the next phase here, which is going to be your qualified lead conversion rate. So how many leads are actually qualified based on your qualification questions, whatever that may be, whether it's, are you a accredited investor? How much money do you have to invest? Whatever your qualification requirements are, what are the number of leads that are actually qualified? So the calculation here would be the amount of qualified leads divided by the overall amount of leads generated equals your qualified lead conversion rate. So let's say, for example, you generate 100 leads and 10 of those leads are actually qualified. That would be a 10% qualified lead conversion rate. Then that moves into your cost per qualified lead. So how much does it cost in order to actually acquire a qualified lead based on your qualification requirements? So this is going to be the total amount of ad spend divided by the number of qualified leads equals your cost per qualified lead. So those are the KPI metrics that are associated with your instant form. So once again, every single one of these levers play into each other. So if you're able to drop your overall cost per click and you're able to increase your lead conversion rate, and you're able to increase your qualified lead conversion rate, then that would drop your overall cost per qualified lead. So you want to optimize each and every one of these KPI metrics in order to drop your overall most important downstream metrics, which are going to come next, which are associated with your investor relations team. So number one, it's going to be your lead to investor conversion rate. So how many prospects that become a qualified lead actually become an investor in your investment offering? So this is going to be calculated by your investors divided by the number of leads, qualified leads equals your lead to investor conversion rate. And then the final downstream most important metrics for your advertising campaigns are going to be your cost per investor, or your CPA. So how much does it cost in order to get an investor in your investment offering? This is going to be the total amount of ad spend divided by the number of investors equals your CPA, or your cost per investor. And then finally, you have your return on ad spend, or your ROAS. So how much capital is raised for each dollar of advertising spend, which is going to be your capital raised divided by your total ad spend equals your ROAS. So that's basically the general final downstream metric showing how profitable your campaigns are overall. So the CPA and the ROAS are the most important KPI metrics. Those are the furthest downstream metrics that you need to optimize. You want to be able to acquire investors at the lowest amount of ad spend possible. And how do you do that? Well, you optimize all of your upstream KPI metrics. So you want to increase your click-through rate by creating a better ad. And then by increasing your click-through rate, it's going to drop your overall cost per click. And then once they actually click onto your advertisement, you want to increase your lead conversion rate. So if you can increase your lead conversion rate and you have a lower overall cost per click, that's going to drop your cost per lead. Then you want to increase your qualified lead conversion rate. You want to get more leads that are actually qualified. That's going to drop your overall cost per qualified lead. Then we move into your lead to investor conversion rate. You want to have the best investor relations team possible so that they can actually increase your lead to investor conversion rate. You boost that drops your overall cost per investor, which is your final downstream metric, and that increases your overall return on ad spend and capital raised overall. So that is how each and every KPI metric plays into each other. And that's all these KPI metrics combined is exactly how you're going to forecast whatever is required in order to actually hit your desired capital raising goals. So this is our Facebook instant form ad campaign KPI /forecasting analytics dashboard. So on the left side here, we have the KPI metric calculator. So this is going to be all of your KPI metrics laid out. So you can first see exactly, how much what your overall net capital raised per investor, and then your total paid advertising campaign ROAS is. And then once you have all these metrics laid out, then you can move into the forecasting calculator. So to start off on the left side here, we have our cost per click. So let's say, for example, that's $10. Then once they actually click and open up the instant form, what is your lead opt-in rate? So let's say, for example, it's 25%. Then your cost per lead would be $40. And then we move into our accredited investor qualified lead rate, which let's say, for example, is 80%. So 80% of people that actually become a lead are qualified. That would be a cost per accredited investor qualified lead, or whatever your qualification requirements are. That would be a $50 cost per qualified lead. Then let's go into your qualified lead to investor conversion rates, the amount of people that become a qualified lead that actually invest in your offering. Let's say it's 5%, for example. So 1 out of every 20 people, that would be a cost per investor, our most important final downstream metric, of $1,000. So it costs us $1,000 in order to acquire an investor. And let's say, for example, that investor, the average investment amount per investor is $50,000. So for every investor that we spend $1,000 in order to acquire, they end up investing $50,000 with us. That would be a net capital raise per investor of $50,000 minus $1,000, which would be $49,000, and a total paid advertising campaign return on ad spend of $50, because for every dollar we put into advertising, we're getting $50 back in investment. So that is our KPI metric calculator. And then once we have these KPI metrics set up, next what we want to do is move over to our forecasting calculator. So we have all the KPIs laid out: the cost per click, the lead opt-in rate, the cost per lead. Those are all laid out in the middle here. And then we have our desired raised capital amount. So let's say, for example, that's $1 million. So based on these KPI metrics that we just set up on the left side here, in order to raise $1 million from our advertising campaign, we would need to spend $20,000 in order to generate 2,000 clicks, 500 leads, 400 qualified investor leads, and then 20 committed investors, based on a $1,000 cost per investor and a $50,000 average investment amount per investor. That would allow us to generate $1 million in raised capital, once again with a $20,000 in ad spend, with a net capital raise of $980,000, with a total paid advertising campaign ROAS of 50. So we're able to directly forecast out now, based on these KPI metrics, exactly what we need to do. So we break it down to the simplest terms possible. So now that we have if all these KPI metrics are kept constant, we now know that just in order to generate $1 million in raised capital, we need to generate 2,000 paid advertising clicks. If we can just generate 2,000 paid advertising clicks, which is around 60 or 70 clicks per day, so just 70 paid advertising clicks per day with Facebook ads, with all other metrics kept constant, we will generate $1 million in raised capital if all KPI metrics are kept constant. And then what we can do is, once we actually launch our campaigns, now everything changes. So now we have the actual real metrics. So maybe our cost per click ends up being $5. Okay, that's going to completely change the game. We type that back into our calculator, and now we can reforecast out what we need to do to hit our desired amount of capital raised. So this is just our starting KPI calculator, just so we can forecast out our campaigns and have some kind of general understanding of what we need to do in order to generate that $1 million in capital raised. So that's the most important part here. So that is how you're going to set up your KPI forecasting analytics dashboard in order to directly forecast exactly how much advertising spend you need to spend in order to generate $1 million capital raise, exactly how many paid advertising clicks you're going to need to generate, exactly how many leads you're going to need to generate, exactly how many qualified leads out of those leads you're going to need to generate, and finally, how many committed investors you're going to need in order to hit that desired amount of capital raised based on your initial KPI metrics that you set out. So that is what you need to understand. So what you've learned today is just one single component of our overall digital fundraising operating system to raise millions of dollars in capital online on autopilot for virtually any business venture. But for our InvestorFeed digital fundraising operating systems, there's multiple different aspects of the system that we've basically set up in order for our clients to hit their capital raising goals and raise capital on autopilot. It's not just our InvestorFeed system. We utilize InvestorFeed with this overall digital fundraising operating system. So the number one core foundation of the digital fundraising operating system is your unique investment thesis. So what we do is we have our clients craft their own unique and differentiated thesis behind your core investment strategy to promote to high net worth investors that allows you to generate enhanced response and an overall advertising performance. So this is incredibly, incredibly important, and it's the foundation of our digital fundraising operating system. And then once you have that unique investment thesis set up, now you can move into every single other aspect of the overall marketing system. So now you can move into our online investor attraction platform once you have your UIT set up, which is where you're going to lay the foundation of your online platform to attract your ideal investor avatar and educate them on your unique investment thesis with relevant evergreen content on autopilot in the background. And then next we go into our ChatGPT AI content creation engine. So we're going to show you exactly how to deploy cutting edge AI technology to automate the creation of high quality engaging content across all online platforms with unmatched efficiency. Then we move into the amplification of that content. So the next part of the system is our conversion content amplification formula, where we're going to leverage our InvestorFeed investor audiences with paid advertising platforms to instantly amplify that targeted conversion content directly to our $100 billion plus network of pre-qualified high net worth investors. Then we move even further into our intent-based inbound acquisition investor funnels, which will basically allow you to systemize your inbound high net worth investor lead flow with an automated acquisition investor funnel that converts ice cold strangers into interested investors on autopilot 24/7, 365, even while you're sleeping. Then we move into our omnipresent authority retargeting matrix, which allows you to build an omnipresent filter bubble around your high net worth investor prospects that engage with your platform across essentially 99% of the internet with retargeting to establish yourself as the number one perceived authority for your specific investment strategy in the eyes of your ideal investor avatar. Then we move into our P2P social media system, which allows you to transform your dead social media accounts into an automated evergreen system that educates, nurtures, and converts prospective investors within your pipeline. And then once they're in your pipeline, we have our investor pipeline nurture automations, which allows you to plug in our sequence of proven and tested nurture automations to develop a pipeline of lifetime repeat investors on autopilot, allowing you to easily raise large amounts of capital quickly whenever you launch any new investment offerings with just a couple simple emails and calls to your pipeline. And then finally, we have our control center KPI analytics dashboard, as we just talked about how important KPI analytics are. So you're able to install our control center CEO dashboard, which will provide you a Hawkeye's view of virtually every single KPI metric within your digital fundraising operation in order to hit your capital raising goals. So this is the overall investor digital fundraising operating system in order to essentially generate accredited investor, highly qualified investor leads on autopilot in the background, 24/7, 365, and then automatically educate and nurture those leads within your pipeline so that you can raise capital for any investment offering that you launch. And then once you have that set up, it basically creates a flywheel. What we like to do, what we call this is our InvestorFeed digital fundraising flywheel. So you launch your investment offering, you begin running paid advertising to that investment offering. You already have your organic social media set up, which is also getting discovery from new accredited investors. So you have those two components combined of paid advertising and organic social media that's simultaneously educating, nurturing, and generating discovery amongst new accredited investors that then move into your investment offering. And then for every single new investment offering that you launch, you're going to have your existing accredited investors that are also referring other accredited investors if you're doing a good job in providing the returns. So it basically creates this self-sustaining flywheel where you're able to turn your acquisition on autopilot 24/7, 365, bringing in new qualified leads even while you sleep. So it's a predictable, scalable, and self-sustaining flywheel that's simultaneously basically generating discovery amongst new accredited investor leads and then also educating and nurturing them on autopilot. In the background without any manual one-to-one intervention required until they actually generate that have that intent where they come to you inbound looking to invest in your investment offering. So this basically allows you to establish an ironclad system that will continue to generate leads for the long term as long as the internet is available. It's highly efficient, so you're able to leverage that systemized acquisition to save time, effort, and resources. And then finally, and most importantly, it allows you to have that competitive edge where you're able to outcompete traditional investors still stuck on those outdated one-to-one strategies. So that is the whole key component behind our digital fundraising flywheel and why our digital fundraising operating system is so incredibly powerful. So that is the entire training. So we went over in section 1, the new direct-to-investor era for raising capital online without any gatekeepers. We went into exactly how our InvestorFeed $100 billion plus investor audience network has unlocked the ability to advertise direct-to-investor. We went over exactly what are Facebook ads and why are they so incredibly powerful for high net worth investor lead generation, specifically with InvestorFeed. We went over the step-by-step guide to setting up a Facebook ad high net worth investor lead generation campaign. And we finally went into our proprietary digital fundraising operating system to raise capital on autopilot for virtually any business venture. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to schedule a call on our website or simply just email us at info@investorfeed.org.